Okay, we're going to start recording. Okay, so tonight we're just going to really go over, so let's say you just make your first post, you don't know what in the world you're doing, and then somebody reaches out to you and they're like, what in the world? What are you taking? Tell me more about this pink drink, or tell me more, what you're doing. And you don't know where to go from there. There's several things that you can do, and I've learned a lot in 2 years, and I'm still learning. Highly, first, always make a message to your upline, because they're going to be, and your upline is somebody that you signed up under or with. I usually say it's my friend. Like, I'm like, Tiffany's my friend, Cash is my friend. Like, they're your friend. Instead of using the term upline, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Highly recommend. I was telling Debbie before all of y'all were on the call, getting this book. This is going to be the first thing to get you started on everything. So it's Get Over Your Darn Self. Just because I don't like cussing very much, it's phenomenal. And I highly recommend it. But what I also recommend is, if you have Audible, I recommend getting the Audible. Listening to her is completely different than you listening to yourself read this book. It's almost like she's preaching to you. And I highly recommend having both if you can. It's phenomenal. So in this book, it covers everything. It talks about, if this person's interested, what to do next, how to follow up with people. It talks about 3-way calls. It literally breaks down everything for you. And what I tell my team is, this girl is obviously not you. Remember that. So if you feel uncomfortable with some of her wording, use your own. And if you still don't know what to say, this is what's great about these team calls and people on this team, is that we're here for you, and we're going to help you with all of the wording and how you can still be you and still help this person try Plexus. So let's say I have several different sayings that I've used throughout the years, some that I'm actually using recently that are working better than others. And we're going to go over that too. So let's say, Delilah, you make your first, selfie or post or whatever you want to. I'm going to back up a second. When you first do this, our team is so different that I'm a huge fanatic on posting authentically. And I'm a huge fanatic of not using graphics. As in the ones that everybody else is using, you're seeing it done in multiple times. It's always grainy, those things. And if we see it, we're going to let you know in a kind way. But what we're going to do is, when you make your first post, we want it to be something real in you. So like, let's say I'm drinking my cup of coffee, and I'm like, you know what? I'm only down to 1 of these a day now. People are going to wonder what in the world you're doing. Why are you down to 1? Sometimes less is more. Again, I'm huge on posting, and sometimes short is better. So always reach out to any of us, and we can help you on your first post as well. So let's say you post, you have somebody reach out to you. Okay, I've seen Plexus everywhere. I've seen people that are saying it can cure everything under the sun, because we know that there's those people out there that are claiming all of that, and they're the annoying Plexus people that we don't want to be. Again, something you're going to learn on this team as well. We are not that. And you're just going to reach out authentically. You know what? I just started this myself, and I would love to tell you more about it. I've noticed, let's say you've noticed, you haven't had sugar cravings like before, and all of that. Well, so you're going to be like, I've noticed in just a short few days that I've been on this, I don't want the cookie that's in front of me anymore. And just kind of go from there. It's whatever you're noticing in your journey. Hang on just a second. Let me mute everybody really quick. Let me figure out how to do that. Just do it individually. And if you guys have a question, I don't know if you've noticed, we have a chat portion on the side. I want you guys to type. So if you have questions while I'm talking, shoot them on there. Or if it's something that you're like, guess, Cassie, right, say this too. Post it on there too if you have questions. Use the chat, because the chat is amazing for that. Because I might talk too much. So interfere or intercept or whatever when you need to. Okay. So the thing is when you're talking about Plexus, and for you to be different is to be you, be authentic, be real with these people, because these people know you and they're going to know when you're sending a copy and paste message. And I'll tell you why. I get the same copy and paste message about Usborne like you would never believe. Everybody's sending me the exact same message, and they're going to know, because if Debbie's sending a copy and paste message, and some of these I'm going to share with you, and let's say Debbie's friends with Delila's friends and Wendy's friends, and you're sending that same message, they're going to know you're not being you. So remember to change the message a little bit, make it unique to that person, because I'm going to have a different relationship than I am with Christy, with Tiffany, with Debbie. Everybody's relationship is going to be different for me. So when you're reaching out to those people, make it real and make it you. The other thing, if you are so uncertain, I'm always like, you know what? I just started these and I don't know a lot about it, and I would hate to give you the wrong information. Let me grab my friend Cassie, and I would love to add you on a thread. Or why don't I see when she's available, and we can get on a three-way call, and we can talk a little bit more about these products and what might be good for you. Those are phenomenal. At first, I was not okay with three-way calls because honestly, I didn't know how to do them. And most people don't want to talk on the phone. They don't. We all have busy lives. We all have things going on. But I have to say, there's statistics out there that being able to see somebody like on this, or being able to hear somebody's voice, you're going to have a much better chance of having them hear you and having them hear your authenticity than you are in a typed message. So this is why I'm really big on voice messages. And this is why I'm really big on Zoom calls. So if I can't get on a three-way call, I always tell my team, you know what, get your potential on a Zoom call, because this way they can see my body language, they can see your body language, and they're going to know that no matter what they decide, the outcome is not going to, what was I going to say? The outcome is okay. If they decide not to do this, it's completely okay. Lost my train of thought. Hang on. It's going to come. So three-way calls. So if you can't get them on a Zoom or a three-way thread, highly recommend a three-way call. So try those. Again, some of you just popped on. Alexis, I saw that you're here, so hello. I think you're reading this book. Highly recommend I'm going to say it 100 times, get this with the audio. It literally breaks down everything. We're going to talk a little bit about it too on here tonight. So with three-way calls, let's say somebody reaches out to you and you don't know what to say because you just started. The one sentence, and if you guys have your book on 91, if not, I'm going to share all this with you guys too. She talks about, okay, well, would you like to learn more to see if maybe this is a good fit for you? And let's say they say, yes, sure, I would love to. Then you have 24 to 48 hours to get that initiation done. Because if they're interested, you're going to lose their interest after that 48 hours. So you want to have them connected with your friend, not your upline, your friend, and get them connected on a Zoom, a three-way, or a phone call. And so once you get that going, then she breaks down everything for you here. Again, her wording is going to be different than my wording because I am what they call more of a yellow and she is a hot red. And hot reds are great. I love them. I have some on this call. But again, they're going to know if I'm not being me. And so for some of these, I would change some of the wording. So like on 92, after you've talked or after you've sent them some information or talked to them a little bit, she says on 92, she said, you know what, after reviewing everything, I know you'll have some questions. So let's schedule a time and talk so we can get all of your answers, answered. I'm going to invite my friend and business partner to join us. She'll give you another perspective, and together we can help you figure out what is a good fit for you. Now, that right there is exactly how I would say it, because I'm being real, I'm being authentic, and I'm telling them exactly what I'm wanting them to hear. Let me see. Cassie, go briefly over. Oh, yes, I was going to. Thank you. Okay. So yellows. I'm going to go over these colors really quick. So reds are bold. This is why I love reds, because sometimes they say stuff that I want to and I don't get to. So reds are bold. Reds are ones that love a challenge and will go for whatever they can. And reds are just real. That's what I love about them. Okay, so yellow, there's other stuff. Sometimes we say things sometimes, but we love you. So Kasia said sometimes we say things we shouldn't. It's okay. That's what yellows are for, because sometimes we help and we just understand. So yellows are me. I am one where it's hard. I don't like confrontation. And sometimes it's hard for me to say exactly what I want to say. And I'm a people pleaser, and I really try my best to help anybody and everybody I can before myself. I'm getting better at it, but that's a yellow. And a yellow is just, I don't know. You guys can help me with other yellows. And so then there's greens. So greens are your people that are going to ask you all the questions. I mean, I got one today and it's like, what are in your veggie capsules? They want to know every ingredient down to the wire. They want to know everything. So that's your green. There's nothing wrong about them. It's actually great because sometimes it makes you think a little bit more. And that's what makes them them. That makes them great. Greens are the ones that they want to know all the information. Blues are your fun, outgoing, extroverted people that they don't care about the information. They just want to have fun and they want to go with the flow. That is your blue. Now, some of us are rainbows, and we come in multiple colors. Like for me, I am a yellow blue. I love to have fun, and I love, to enjoy people and just have a blast. And I put people first. I'm a yellow. And I have that much of green. I love to know the information. But if you put other things in front of me, that green just gets a little bit smaller. There's some on here that are every color. And there is a color personality test that I know Christy is. There's a color personality test that you can take and figure out what color are you. And it's pretty interesting. There's actually several tests that you can take. I've taken several.
I'm pretty sure we have it on our team page. We can bump it up.
Good idea. Let's do that.
Yes, it's really fun to know. I'm 100% like equal red and blue. I have no yellow or green at all.
Yeah. And sometimes, but here's the great thing is when you're surrounded by people like this, I tend to get more red because of Kasia and you, and I tend to get more green from other people. You you grab a little bit of everybody's colors, which is what's great about this. So even if you don't have it and you don't score that way, it's okay. So recommend taking that. But one of my other favorites, and it's on my list to like actually finish reading this, is the Strengths Finders test. I would highly recommend getting this book because 2 seconds. Don't buy a used one because the code in the back is going to be used. Just FYI. That happened to me. So there's a code in the back that you can use to actually take the test. This was $20 and it comes with the test in the back of the book. Now, the test breaks down even more of your color personality. So for me, let me find my phone. I'll read one of them. My top one was, what was it? One of them was woo. And so the other one was ideation, where ideation means I come up with a lot of great ideas. Another one was I'm an adapter. It's adaptability. I'm able to adapt to all kinds of different situations. And just things like that. So what's neat about this is, let's say you have your other team members take it, you can figure out how to talk to them or what makes them and what makes them unique. So I had a lot of people on this call take it. So it's pretty neat to be like, okay, well, she really is good at communication. And here's why. Here's more information about her or him. I know there's girls on here, but there are hims in our business. There are man-ambassadors and they're great. So recommend getting this. I'll post my some of you guys can post yours too on here if you want to, what you guys's were. Because it's neat to see what is different about everybody, because that's how God makes us. We're all so different. And what I say might not be the way that you would talk to people. Again, same with this book. Like, she is different than I am, and I'm going to reach out to people a little bit differently. But I'm taking what she has to say and learning from it and reaching out to those people. And I'm going to start more three-way calls. So if you guys feel like you need, okay, I have somebody in mind that would be great for this business or would love these products, but I don't know what the heck I'm doing, reach out to us. Like, let us know. We will get on a three-way call, or we will do a three-way thread, or we will do a Zoom. Again, I love Zooms, and I really, really like voice messages and things like that. So let's see. Always, 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 when you're reaching out to people, let them know that you are not attached to the outcome, because they don't want to feel like they're stuck. So if you're pushy, the first thing that I noticed when I first started doing this that I thought I was pretty good at was not vomiting Plexus all over them. But going back and looking at my messages, I completely vomited all over them. When I mean vomit, I mean you're saying more than 2 sentences and you're like, Plexus said this and Plexus says that, and I'm so excited, da da da. Way too much. And if you are still uncertain on, like, I don't know if I'm throwing up on them or not, show us your message before you send it, because it's going to really change whether you're going to have that person listen to you or not. Because again, you have that one chance sometimes, or that person's turned off completely by you. I had 2 people today, one person that said, I hate when my high school friends that I've never talked to in 15 years all of a sudden message me, and their first message to me is about their company and what it could do for me. Again, you want to create relationship first. If you haven't talked to them in a really long time, there's some messages that I highly recommend using. She has some too, but relationship is key. And if you had a relationship, a really good one with them in high school, bring that back up, and how excited you are to see them back on Facebook. Start commenting on some of their stuff and make them feel like you're really attached to them as a person and not to them as a sale. It's going to make a huge difference. And it was a great reminder today when I had that person show me even the message she got from somebody in a different company, and it made her feel horrible. So highly recommend communication and relationship first. The other person, kind of the same deal. She just wants people to be authentic. Remember how I was talking about Usborne books, how you always get the copy and paste stuff. She saw it right off the bat. So really make sure when you're sending messages, they're real, they're you, because that's going to make the difference to whether that person's going to listen to you or not. Let's be real. Because if I get messages, sorry, I don't know why I'm burning up now. Whew, I'm getting in it. I'm gonna know if Kasia reaches out to me and I notice something different about her, and I'm like, I don't remember us. Like, if she's like, hey girl, I love seeing your post the other day and how about your daughter, but maybe she doesn't say my daughter's name. Like I don't know. There's something about when you're really like, oh my goodness, I love that Shiley is loving playing outside with her dad and stuff like that. They're going to know that you're really being personable with what's going on in their life, not just like, hey, I want to tell you about a great sale we have, blah, blah, blah. There's a huge difference. And I'm going to be honest, sometimes I go straight to it because I might have talked to them 100 times, and it's just time to close it and seal the deal and get it done. If they're not interested, I'm going to be like, you know what? It's completely fine. Whether or not it's in it for you, if this isn't for you right now, completely okay. Just let me know. And I will, we'll just keep talking and da-da-da. You're my friend first before Plexus is. So yes, authenticity, 100%. And that's really what makes this team here amazing, because all of us are so real. And I think it's because we are making that message and making Plexus so much different because when we're reaching out to people, they're seeing the difference between us and their other Plexus friends. And they're going to decide and pick from you versus somebody else. Because I've had it happen. I have had people come to me. I have tons of people flood my newsfeed with Plexus. But you know what? I've noticed you're a godly woman and that you just seem real. And you seem like you're being honest when you share your testimony, when you're sharing your posts. I want to know more from you. That's what's going to make the difference. Because you know what? Plexus is getting bigger, yes, but our market's still huge. And the people are going to come to you because they love you and they trust you. Okay, I'm going to stop for just a second. I'm going to open it up for any questions. So we can role play. And when I mean role play, like let's say you have somebody right now that is messaging you and you're like, what do I say? Let's role play. I will be that person, or I'll help you figure out what to say, and we can go from there. If it's a question of anything I've said, whatever it is, I'm going to open it up to you guys and let's talk for a little bit. Debbie, are you trying to talk? Okay, I'm unmuting you. Go for it.
Okay. So I make a post this morning, and this happens all the time, and I never know what to say. What does it cost? They put it on your Facebook. You know, I think I posted block, and they say, what does it cost? Well, then it's like, oh, I'm so glad you asked. I'll message you, girl, or whatever.
Yeah.
But so then when you message them, you can't answer that in 2 sentences. At least I can't. So, you know,
okay.
How do you do that?
All right. Well, let me help you. Let's say this person's like, how much does it cost? Because we know we have those people. I mean, I'm that person too. I like to save money, so completely get it. I'm going to say I'm messaging Sally back. Hey, Sally, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. What did you love most about Block, or what made you interested in Block? I want to know more before I tell them exactly how much it costs. Because what made them interested in that post? What stood out about Block to them? What do they know about Block? Think of it when you go to the doctor's office. Is he going to automatically throw a prescription at you because you walked in? You didn't tell him anything. He just gave you it and said, here, I think this is going to be okay for you. It costs $35. Go for it. No, he's going to ask more questions. Like today, I had an appointment. You know, what family history do you have? What have you taken before that didn't work? Things like that before you ever get into cost. If you throw costs right at them, just like if the doctor threw a prescription at you, they're going to be out the door. Because you know what? They have no belief. They don't know what these products could possibly do for them. You really have to give them more information for them to truly listen. That's the difference. So
on your actual Facebook page?
No. So on my Facebook page, if Sally comments, well, what's the cost? And I would say, hey, I'll message you really quick, because it's going to be different. Because here's the thing, you have retail pricing, you have preferred pricing, and you have wholesale pricing. And you don't want to give all of that in just a comment. You really want to make a personal message to that person about it. That's what I would do.
Good, thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I meant to tell you that, Debbie, when I looked at your post after we had talked. I try to never put the actual price on my post, period. You always want to do it privately. And like you said, open up the conversation and dig a little bit deeper, see what intrigued them to comment, because obviously they're following you. So
exactly. And the other thing, never, ever, 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 ever post your link to your website, ever. Because here's the thing, they're going to get on there and you're never going to know whether they bought something unless you dig through your back office. You're never going to know if they really got the right product. What if they got Boost and Accelerator together? They're screwed. They should not be taking these together, and you're not going to know that unless you talk to them. So I never, ever, that's like the last, unless they're like, okay, I'm ready to sign up. I'm ready to do this. Let's go, then I give them my website. I never give it to them beforehand.
On the website, it's retail prices, and they're not going to know any different, and that's going to freak them out.
Yeah.
No.
And you never even put the link in the comments?
Nope.
Okay.
No, because then again, it's just like the doctor. You're throwing it at them without ever finding out what health concerns they have, what they've tried before, why it didn't work. Because sometimes people can and I've gotten to where people tell me, you know what, it didn't work because I didn't give it a chance. And I'm like, you know what, I love your honesty. Thank you for being honest, because that's going to make the difference with you trying Plexus or not. And you know what, if you can't give this a good 60 to 90 days, I don't know if it's going to be good for you either. You have to be committed. You have to be consistent on it. And I've gotten to where I've been telling people straight up that way, because I don't want to sign all of these people if they're just going to fall off within a month. It's not benefiting them, and it's not really benefiting you, because you just lost somebody too.
Right.
So and the other thing is, when they're interested, I figure out, okay, where do they qualify? If they're just wanting X Factor, but they want ambassador pricing, I say, you know what, that $35, it's going to take you a long time to make up that $35 membership. Why don't we start you as a customer? If you like the products and you start, having more success on more of the products, we'll switch you over into ambassador, because you're going to want them at, and some of you might not know this, you're going to want them at 100 PV. It's going to help them. They're going to get paid back on their products, and it's going to help you as well. So you don't want to keep signing up ambassadors that aren't going to order a lot. That's a whole nother team call. We'll do that one later. Okay, so Kasia has her hand raised. Go for it.
So I just wanted to mention about the whole website thing. Personally, I never, ever send my link to people. What I do whenever they're wanting to order as a customer or an ambassador, I say, okay, great. Are you free now for me to call you? And if they say no, then I give them a couple of options of times to call them. But I get on the phone with them. I ask them all of their information, and I go to my website and I do it all for them. That way, I control it. I know that their subscription gets turned on properly. I know the order went through properly. If it didn't, I know how to call customer service and how to get to them quickly. If there's any back office glitches, they don't see those and aren't frustrated by them.
Right.
And it just gives me more control. And I also always set up their password. I try to get their username as their first name, last name, and I always try to set their password as my first name, last name. So that way, if they say, hey, can you add this to my order? I can say, yeah, great, I can do that for you, and I can log in for them. It just gives me more control, and it lets me know that everything's done properly, and they never see back office issues.
That was my question, Kasia. Now, do you keep a folder or files or whatever on each person so you have their login, so that way if they ever have issues?
No, with the new website, with it being their email, if they want me to do something, I just say, hey girl, what's your email address? And I know that their password's my first name, last name. I just do, you know what I'm saying? So like if they have an issue, I say, yeah, remind me what your email is again. So
okay. Yeah, I've had so many people
are of the generation that aren't very computer savvy anyways, so they prefer for me to control all their stuff and do it all for them. So
I feel like since the new back office change, I mean, it's getting better, but there's been so many glitches, so that makes sense. So
yeah, I can probably count on one hand the amount of my customers and ambassadors who have even seen my website.
I think this works for a lot of people, and some it's not going to, because I have some that even though they trust me 100%, they're still going to want to do it themselves. So you're really going to have to gauge it. You really are. But I have to
definitely
the ones that I actually do sign up over the phone, I have more success over. So again, highly recommend getting on a phone call if you can. And I've said that, they're like, well, I really don't have time. And I'm like, well, we can do it here on here, but I prefer a phone call whenever you're free. If you're not free tonight, we can try tomorrow. If not, then last resort, we can just finish here. Because again, you have 24 to 48 hours to finish that. If not, they're gone.
And also, if you're on the phone with them, it gives you an opportunity. Most people are getting their triplex. So it gives you an opportunity to talk about the triplex, talk about when your products come in, give me a call. We're going to start you off slowly on these products. I'm going to send you a schedule, talk a little bit briefly about die-off. Like, it just gives you a chance to talk through them a little bit more of how to start their products, what to expect when they're starting their products, and things like that, and how for them to reach out to you so that way you can help them through their first few days on their products.
Yes. Okay. So Tammy asked, how would you take Edge and Accelerator together? Well, I would separate them, because you never know how somebody's going to react to them. So Edge, if some of you guys don't know, Edge is equivalent to coffee. It's like 1 cup of coffee. Accelerator it's something to help excel your metabolism. It's going to help move everything a little bit quicker. The best way that I say it between the two is this boost is a thermogenic. It's going to help you Burn more calories. So I say I take this during my cardio days. Accelerator, I take more to my weightlifting days where I'm not doing so much. I don't need to burn as many calories. But this helps my metabolism go, and it helps me not crave as much food. So I would separate them. I would almost, for somebody that's new, even trying this, I would say several hours. Now for me, I could probably do it within 30 minutes to an hour, but again, everybody's different. I mean, today I took a slim, an edge, and a boost, and I'm here. So again, everybody's different. But that's kind of like my workout. That's how I roll. But again, that's not for everybody. So this is why it's good to talk to your friend to figure out what is going to be good for that person. Again, before I forget, if somebody is on medication, this is why it's good to ask questions, because you're going to want to see, okay, you know what medications are you taking? I want to make sure that, if you're taking something, we split them 2 to 4 hours apart, because some people aren't going to. I have found where I've gotten so close for them to sign up, and then they're like, oh, I forgot to tell you I'm on this, and this. And I'm like, oh, why didn't I ask that in the beginning? And it wasn't that our products would have interacted or hurt them, but let's say they wanted Boost, but they have a heart condition. I'm not going to give them Boost if they have a heart condition. I'm not going to give them Edge if they have a heart condition. So again, this is why I don't put my website on my comments. I don't do any of that, because again, they have a reaction. We cannot control that because we did not talk to them first. Okay. Anyway,
Tammy, I would also suggest that they take one for a week. Like, start off with Boost or Edge. I would say Boost, because that's kind of more of something that you take every day. And Edge is kind of an as-needed type thing. You know what I'm saying? At least for me. That's what Edge is for me. And I would have them start really slowly on the Boost, one per day for a week, and then add another one if they want to take 2, and do that for at least a good week or 2 before you add Edge on top of it. Because they all have stimulants in them. It's just caffeine. And if they're not used to that much caffeine, then they're going to be feeling crazy. Oh yeah, and Cassie says with food.
Yeah,
Yes.
because when they first start it, you're going to want them to again, start slow, but let them know, I would have at least something small in your stomach, because we don't know how it's going to react to you. And I mean, I have some that can take Edge on an empty stomach. And then I have some, like me, that need a little bit on my tummy before I take it. Because it's kind of like if you take 5 cups of coffee, not that it's equivalent to that, and you're just kind of like, okay, I'm in good. I need to go some cardio. I need to go do this. It's just so much better. It helps calm you down if you have a little bit on your tummy. Okay. Any other questions? Yes, Tammy.
I have one more. I have a high school friend. I just cold messaged her today. She told me that she's in a transition. So she's really wanting to try the products. But she is wanting me to send her whatever I want, and she'll read through everything. Like, she's even considering being an ambassador. But I'm the vomit person. I get super excited and I want to tell them everything.
I know. Don't do it.
I don't know, like.
Okay. Here's what you do. You stop and you say, you know what? I would love to get you in contact with my friend, Kasha. Do you have time tomorrow? Because here's the thing. When you get Kasha on the phone call, she's going to get more belief, and she's going to trust you even more. She's not going to want all the information, because Kasha's got more. You know what I mean? It's like third-party validation is higher than you could ever believe. It's huge. Huge, huge, huge.
Okay. Well, then I will message her, because I've given her like a little bit, like just the shell of it.
Yeah.
And I'll ask her when a good time would be to chat.
Well, you want to set the time. I would say, you know what? Do you have, because if you, I mean, we always want to know their schedule too. But like, for instance, I have a play date on Thursday, and it's because I said, I'm free Thursday. How does your Thursday look? I gave her the day, and we're trying to figure out time, and we set a time. She'll be here, during lunch. If you narrow it down, then it just works better. So,
okay.
and then you got to figure out with Kasha too, like when that would work.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Now, I know several of you guys are new, so this is probably like Plexus vomit, and you have no clue what in the world I just said the last 39 minutes or what in the world to do. Trust me, I get it. And that's what we're here for. And it will get to where it gets easier and easier, I promise. First thing I always recommend, if you feel overwhelmed, turn off some of your notifications for any of the groups that you're in and calm down a little bit, because that's the one thing that I did for myself when I first started. I almost quit. 100 times I almost quit because I was added. I love Jana. This is not to do with Jana at all, but I was added into every group possible. I was in every thread possible. And I have not had that many notifications in my whole entire life. And it overwhelmed me as a yellow. And so remember that you can still calm down and still do this. I highly recommend at least staying on our faith group and staying on either our faith thread or a thread with your upline. Start there, start slow, and then move up when you're ready and you feel like you can take more. Because if there's too much on you at once, you're just going to be like, whatever, forget this Plexus stuff. And I promise you, if you give this a chance, you are going to be gold. You're going to be senior gold. I mean, you're going to be flying off the charts if you give this a chance. I say the hardest is going silver and the hardest is going gold. Other people have had different, that was for me. The hardest was silver and gold for me. It took me 3 to 4 months to go silver. That's only 3 people, but it took me a while. You know what? It was all God's timing. And that's what I remind everybody. Your time is going to be different than anybody else's. That's just like with several people in here that want to go gold. Gold is hard. It just takes time. Just remember that. Remember your goals. Remember why you're doing this. And go to your friend, your upline, and have them. So some of you guys on here, get their goals, get their whys, all of that, and have them do this book so that we can help you guys get to where you want to be. Because I'm telling you, I would not be Senior Ruby if it wasn't Jana believing in me and everybody else breathing life into me, because I would have left 100 times ago, like a lot, because I got overwhelmed really quickly and I didn't think that this was for me. And I have to tell you that the income is absolutely amazing. I'm helping pay for our house bill, our grocery bills, and some. It's phenomenal. So don't give up. It's amazing. Do not give up. Okay. Sorry. That was a little preaching going on. All right. What other questions we got?
Me
Yes,
again.
Debbie. That's okay.
More than one person I've talked to recently is like, Debbie, we just had Christmas. I want to do this, but I don't have much money. Tiffany sent me a video the other day of a diamond girl that started out with like 17 cents and life was falling apart and she was just scraping the barrel. Her kids didn't have food. What's a good way for me to tell people how they can get started and really focus on the business side of it? Because a lot of people I've talked to aren't really ready for products, but they really want to be part of the business.
Okay. So Ryan Evans is another really good one too, because she had no money and she only could do the $34.95 until she found people.
Okay.
So I talked to a girl. I just got off of a potential call before I had this, and same with her. They don't have the money. And I said, you know what? One, I'll never, ever pressure you to do this. You should know that. I love you as a friend and I'll never pressure you, but highly recommend, because I know you want these products and I know you want to get on them, and finances are an issue for you. Why don't you do this? Until Thursday, think of at least 3 to 5 people that would want to try and do this with you alongside you and that are ready for something new in 2018. Because I know you know some people that are trying to get healthier in 2018. Think of those people, reach out to them, or we can reach out to them, see if they're interested in this. And that way we can get your products paid for, get you started on this, and you're already starting to get an income. And I have a follow-up with her on Thursday for that same reason. So that's how I do it. I let them know, you know what, why don't you just go ahead and think of a few people. We can try to get your products paid for, and we can go from there. Because some people, I was negative. Jana blessed me with the triplex. I would not be here if it wasn't for that. Because we were negative. We were negative every paycheck. We lived paycheck to paycheck. And we could not afford it. And she blessed that. It was a Christmas gift and best thing she ever did. But she also could have said, and I would have probably done it, let's find 3 to 5 people that I might know and go from there. Does that help?
Thanks. Yes, it does.
Okay.
It does.
Good. Yeah, Tiffany. It was
Wording that I sometimes use for that, Debbie, is I say, hey, listen, I totally understand. Finances were really, really tight for me too when I wanted to try when I was starting this. If you're interested, I can show you how to I can help you get your products for free this month or products paid for this month. And I always say that because it's like, we'll get my products paid for. Well, how long is that going to take? But you can show them how to get it done this month. It's easy. 3 to 5 people, done.
And then it's also the importance of making sure they know that they have to maintain silver to keep their products covered, because I had an ambassador, she went silver, and then the next month she's like, how come they charged me for my products? And I'm like, I mean, it was probably oops on my part because I didn't technically know. I mean, I didn't know how to train people back then. So, but you just want to make sure they know exactly like Kasha just said this month.
Okay.
And to maintain that. I mean, there's ways around it. And I'm always here to help you, Debbie.
I know.
That, and you could also get on a Zoom, have them get on a Zoom with Tiffany too, and she could help introduce everything to them and help them get started as well with your help. And sometimes I use the Phil, oh goodness. Not
Phil
Found.
Thank you. I feel the exact, you use those words as in like, you know what, I completely understand. I felt the exact same way. And then I found out that I was drinking all these Starbucks drinks and I was going to the doctor. I mean, you use the things that you used to have. Thank you. You used to have, and that you were able to supplement those things into Plexus. So you're able to take them. They just, the cost switched. And honestly, I'm saving more money now than what I was. Doctor's appointments, I mean, was paying $25 copay. I was I wasn't trying to take all the prescription medication, but I was getting Midol and everything else under the sun to try to help. All that stuff adds up. We just don't see it. We don't add it up monthly. Plexus is monthly, and they don't, when you break it down daily, it's really not that much. I mean, they're paying more than that going to the gas station and getting a soda and getting a donut or whatever else that even I used to go get. It just, sometimes people need to see the numbers. But yeah, use the feel, felt, found method. That's another one.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. Dalila, I know this is a lot for you. Do you have any questions? No? Okay. You're okay. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I just wanted, just trying.
What about Angela? She's hiding.
She's right under. I got like a Brady Bunch thing going on right here. And I'm like, okay, she's next. All right, Angela. Any questions or anything?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Just going back, I haven't done like any multi-level marketing for a while, but like finding people, I didn't even think about having to talk to people, which I was just like, oh, they'll all come to me. I don't know why.
Sometimes they do.
But I just didn't think about that. So, is there like a script you guys use, or just like, do you have that?
I do. I have several that I can send y'all. I can actually read several to you guys so you can kind of get an idea of different ones that I've sent. And actually, I've got some that some of you guys have sent because I really liked them. So, and I know you're not going to be able to type this, so I'm going to send it to you guys as well. But I'll just read some. So here's one that I sent. And I sent a voice message because if you get this, it's going to be like this long on Facebook and nobody's going to read that. So I sent this as a voice message. I said, hey, girl, thanks so much for adding me to your group, because she added me to this mascara group she just started. And I wanted her to thank her for it because, it's another company. I wanted something more to find out. I said, I look forward to knowing more. I'm always into clean makeup. I'm pretty picky about what goes on my face. I said, you look gorgeous, by the way. I can see that you, just in the short time that I've known you on Facebook, you are a wonderful, God-given woman that loves people, helps others, and loves being a mom. Even with the tired mom eyes that you talk about, I used to have those eyes all the time. I would love to tell you more about my business because I work with some amazing Christian women that love staying home with their babies, that once struggled to get through the day, including myself, with homeschooling and daily mom duties. It just seemed draining. But they're feeling more energized and the moms that they want to be while building amazing businesses that are growing big enough to give them more choices, more financial freedom to help pay off debt or help their household expenses, as well as feeling healthier all over. I would love to tell you what I am up to. Even if it's not for you, that's completely okay. I have a feeling that you're going to know some people that I could help. And that was it. So I sent that to her. It was somebody that I met. There is a conference here called DFL, Design for Life Sisterhood. And she actually was the woman that came out on stage and sang. And I friended her. And so I've got to know her just a little bit on Facebook, so I sent her that. The other thing is I have a mom that just joined. So we homeschool, and I have another mom that just joined our co-op. And so we call it Classical Conversation. So CC is how we break it down. So I said, hey girl, I'm so excited you're part of our amazing CC family. You're going to love it. I'm so happy for you. I know you and I have talked about Plexus a while back, and the timing was just not right for you. I know how important timing is. It's everything. I thought of you because of everything new in your life in 2018 with homeschooling and all, and this could be what makes 2018 even better for you guys. This past weekend, Plexus gave me 2 amazing gifts. These are the codes I'm talking about, that I want to share with the right people. I would love for you to be one of them. Now, I know that if it's still not the right timing, that is completely okay. I just want to make sure that this amazing gift is put in the right person's hands. You are one of the first people I thought of. You're a wonderful, God-giving woman that loves people, helps others, and loves being a mom. I would love to tell you more about my business because I work with some amazing Christian women that love staying at home with their babies. And I use this same format that I did above, and I tweaked a little bit to match her. So I'll end it where I ended for her. And I said, and if it's not the right timing, again, that is completely okay. For real. I have a feeling you're going to know some people that I could help. But if you are interested in Plexus and knowing more, I would love to share this gift with you, girl. And that's how I ended it with her. I have several other ones. I have some really, really short ones that are like, hey girl, first, I absolutely love your house. It's gorgeous. Your yard, oh my goodness, gorgeous. Keep the pictures coming. Second, I know we've never really truly had a conversation about Plexus, but would you be open to hearing my story? It may or may not be for you, but it means the world to me that you're willing to listen. I'll touch base with you in a few days unless I hear from you first. I hope you have a fabulous day. The other one that's short and sweet. Hey friend, I know I haven't really talked about Plexus, but I'm reaching out to some of my friends with kiddos this season because I hate seeing everyone post about getting the flu. Would you be open to hearing more about Plexus and how it could help you and your kids if they have kids? It may or may not be for you, but it means a lot that you're willing to listen. Again, the flu and stuff is going around, so I was sending that because I'm seeing huge epidemics of people getting flu, sick, throwing up, like everything. I have a couple other short and sweet ones, and I can send any of those, but really it just breaks down to what you love about that person and why you thought of them, and why Plexus, like what could benefit them in Plexus. And you could kind of see that through each one. Like one of them was just because maybe I saw her post a lot about being sick. And maybe I even say, that, and I've used this before, that I would feel horrible if I had something in my hands and I did not share this with you. And when I feel like this could possibly help you, would you be willing to listen to see if these products might benefit you or something to that nature? Because you really do have something in your hands that could truly help them. If it wasn't for Jana reaching out to me and sharing these amazing products with me, I might be up for my 3rd surgery or 4th surgery right now. But I haven't had to have surgery since. I haven't had to be on any pain medications. I haven't had to be able on all kinds of things. I'm able to be the mom that I want to be. So you truly have some amazing products in your hands that really could truly change lives. You just don't know it. And they don't know it. So there's that. And if you guys want messages, private message me so that I'm not like throwing up our faith group thread with all those. So let me know and I can send them to you individually and go from there too. Okay. Any other questions before we end? Or anything else we wanted to touch on that I didn't? Nobody? Man.
Really quick,
Yeah.
can you go over briefly if someone messages you and says, what is Plexus?
The famous what is Plexus? So usually I say, I am so glad you asked. Actually, Plexus is a health and wellness company. And it's true. And then I kind of go into my story just a little, again, short and sweet. You want to make it short and sweet. Plexus is a health and wellness company that has truly transformed my life. Have you ever heard of it before? Because sometimes they might have and sometimes they might haven't. And if they truly don't know, I just briefly, it's a health and wellness company. It's truly transformed my life and made me a better mom. I would love to tell you more about it if you're open to hearing more about what I take or something to that nature. It can really go several different ways, but just remember it's short and sweet. Like,
it's kind of like in the book, because I know Alexis asked me that question. In the book, I'm trying to remember what page it's on, but she talks about the 45-second little tidbit. You want to touch briefly on what it's done for you, then immediately turn it around and make it about them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's why I go into my story a little bit. Like, Plexus has transformed my life in the way that I'm the mom I want to be now. I'm not having to have surgeries, and I'm off all of my medications that I used to take daily. And then go into them. Go into something about them that maybe they would want to listen. Have you ever heard of Plexus before? Or I would love to tell you more. Do you have a few minutes? Something to that nature. Again, this book literally tells you everything. So if you're wanting to possibly even think about doing this as, I hate saying business because it's really an amazing opportunity. If you want to try this, grab that book. It will change everything. Everything. Okay. Anything else? Nobody? Oh my goodness. I feel like I talked, and I really did, an hour. Oh my goodness. Nobody. All right. Well, I'm going to end with my slaying robe. I've got to, because Becky's got hers on. I finally can see her. So I'm going to put mine on. So if you don't know this, we come as we are, and we don't care. So I don't ever want to see the ceiling. I don't ever want to see, I want to see you. So even if but come with clothes. I mean, Tiffany, I'm glad you did. So come with clothes and know that you are loved no matter what you look like, or if you haven't showered in 5 days, we don't care. So, and Wendy, don't worry. You're fine. You're not feeling good. So you are excluded from that. But I hope you feel better. All right, guys, it was awesome having you guys on this. And I hope you learned something. And again, if you have any questions, please reach out to any of us. We are truly a family, and I want you to feel that. So,
Cassie, will you make sure to post this call? I've already had 2 people message me if it was going to be posted. So,
Now, I live out in the boonies, so it's going to take at least 2 hours to load. So just let you know. It will go on YouTube here soon. So, okay, I'll do that.
Awesome.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Talk to y'all later.